I don't have 50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. $3 million. You put 3, I put 3. Winner takes all.
Jake Paul recently faced an aggressive confrontation from Andrew Tate after rejecting a $3 million fight offer. It's understandable why Tate reacted strongly. Paul dismissed the fight as lacking hype and claimed to have better opportunities. But one has to wonder if targeting opponents well past their prime is truly a path to greatness.
Hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, who would f you.
But do you think the king of controversy will hold back? Tate called Jake out for being all talk and no action, accusing him of being too scared to lose.
Possible. Yeah. There's nothing's no, nothing's yes. We'll see. I'll escape this Matrix attack, and perhaps if he needs to be taught a lesson, I'll be the guy to tell you.
Tate emphasized that this fight isn't just about the money. It's about proving who the real alpha is. At the moment, it appears Jake is more focused on preserving his undefeated record than taking on a truly challenging opponent.
You want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living.
Jake Paul and Andrew Tate, two controversy magnets with boxing gloves, are at the center of a drama that's as gripping as a reality show. Jake, the self-made sensation who built a career out of throwing punches and challenging his own credibility, recently rejected a $3 million fight offer from Tate. Yes, you read that correctly. He turned down $3 million, and the internet is going wild. So why did Jake back out? According to him, the fight isn't big enough, claiming there's no hype and that he has better opportunities ahead. Sounds like a smart move, right?
Fought somebody that was actually his age and was actually a boxer and was actually his size, he lost. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not trying to shit on the...
Not everyone is buying Jake's excuse. His critics argue it's just another way to avoid a real challenge. Jake's career has been built on fights with older, retired stars. Big names, sure, but none of them are in their prime. Tate, however, is different. He's younger, more skilled, and unpredictable. Tate would turn every press conference into a psychological battle, bringing a level of chaos Jake hasn't faced before. Maybe that's why he's keeping his distance.
A fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living out of a goofy, entitled dickhead like...
The tension between Jake Paul and Andrew Tate has reached new heights, fueling one of the most talked about rivalries in recent sports history. The drama has taken over social media, and the internet is ablaze with reactions from fans, critics, and fighters alike. The core of this ongoing feud: Jake Paul's decision to reject a $3 million fight offer from Andrew Tate, which has sparked a whirlwind of accusations, egos clashing, and a growing divide among supporters of both sides. Jake Paul, who built his career on controversial antics and a string of high-profile fights against older, retired stars, has now found himself in the spotlight for backing out of a real challenge. Critics are quick to point out that Jake's string of victories has come against opponents who were well past their prime, and none of them were in their competitive peak. His strategy, it seems, has been to pick opponents that boost his reputation without ever truly testing his skills against someone dangerous. But Andrew Tate is no ordinary opponent. Tate, known for his bold personality and unapologetic masculinity, doesn't fit into Jake's usual mold. He's younger, skilled, and unpredictable, qualities that make him a far more challenging opponent than any Jake has faced so far. Tate doesn't just talk a big game. He's the type of fighter who would turn every press conference into a psychological battle, making it clear that his challenges aren't just about money. They are about proving who's the real alpha. His fiery response to Jake's rejection only added fuel to the fire. Tate's words cut deep. "If you want to send a contract, send one to me. I'll take a break from my retired life to kick the living hell out of you." For Tate, this fight isn't about cash. It's about ego, reputation, and proving who the real man is. He accused Jake of turning down the fight out of fear Fear of losing, fear of stepping up to someone who could truly test his skills. Tate has built his brand on this narrative, painting himself as the ultimate top key, the man who is willing to back up his talk with action. His disappointment in Jake's decision was clear, and he didn't stop there. He called Jake out as a loudmouth and urged him to settle their differences the old-fashioned way, in the ring. Jake's decision to turn down Tate's challenge hasn't gone unnoticed. On social media, fans are split, with some defending Jake's decision as a strategic move for his career, while others accuse him of ducking a real test. The phrase "ducking Tate" has even begun trending online, a reflection of the growing sense that Jake is avoiding a true challenge to protect his precious undefeated record. Tate's supporters see this as a perfect opportunity to tear Jake down, claiming that he is all talk and no action, and that he's avoiding someone who might actually expose his weaknesses. Even Joe Rogan, a figure who has seen his fair share of combat sports, questioned Jake's refusal to fight Tate. Rogan pointed out that Tate is not only younger and more unpredictable, but also has a legitimate combat sports background with a kickboxing record of 76 wins and just 9 losses. For Rogan and many others, this is the test Jake needs if he ever wants to be respected as a true fighter, not just a YouTube star turned boxer. Tate's background in kickboxing brings a unique skill set to the table, and while Jake's opponents thus far have been mostly retired fighters or athletes unfamiliar with boxing, Tate's experience presents a different kind of challenge. The debate continues to rage, with many asking whether Jake's career has any real legitimacy in the boxing world. His loyal fans argue that he is simply being strategic, picking fights that make sense for his brand, while critics point to his refusal to fight someone like Tate as evidence that Jake is more interested in maintaining his undefeated record than facing tough competition. In the eyes of some, Jake is nothing more than a sideshow, a spectacle, not a true boxer. Social media is flooded with hashtags like Jake Circus and Ducking Tate, as the online world becomes more divided over Jake's choices. For Tate, this controversy is just another chapter in his larger narrative as the self-proclaimed top G. He frames his rejection of Jake as a rejection of the system, labeling Jake as a puppet who talks a big game but backs down when it's time to face a real challenge. In a fiery post, Tate accused Jake of being part of the Matrix, a system that encourages people to talk tough but run when the stakes are high. The irony here, however, is that some argue Tate is inadvertently feeding into Jake's hype machine. By making such a public spectacle of the rejection, Tate is giving Jake exactly what he thrives on: attention. But let's put aside the drama and look at the hypothetical fight itself. What would happen if Jake Paul and Andrew Tate actually squared off in the ring? On paper, it's a clash of two vastly different fighters with different skill sets and approaches to combat sports. Jake Paul has spent years honing his skills as a boxer, focusing solely on this sport, while Tate's expertise lies in kickboxing, a discipline that incorporates fists, feet, and a range of other techniques. In boxing, though, it's a different game. Jake has the advantage of being trained specifically for boxing, while Tate's experience in kickboxing might not translate as smoothly to the sport's more rigid rules. If these two were to step into the ring, it would be a battle of raw experience versus dedicated training.